Just the UnderSink filtration setup.
Don't wanna sleep in, cause I got something to prove. I gotta take what I hate and finally make a move. I think of you and all the shit you don't do. Well, I'ma make hella sure that I don't become you. I have no regrets, yeah, I'll tie up my chest. I'll never forget what it's like to be in debt. Been stabbed in the back bed, I'll show you what happens. Pass me the mic and I'll show you with action. I feel this.
Alright, so we're gonna do a project today, kind of do like a impromptu while we're waiting. For anyone following along since our last video, we are now currently set up back at our home port in Everett. I'm getting ready to haul out, and so we've got a day or two to kill, so that's why I'm working on projects. If anyone's wondering why I'm not fixing the boat, that's why. So yeah, so I made a little project. It's like a little one today that I kind of wanted just to share, because I think it's good on a boat. And so we were talking about it too. I mean, if you want to comment below, let us know what you think. We're thinking about doing midweek videos with projects. Anyways, follow along knows this is an old boat, has a lot of projects to do, and with the engine going down, all that stuff, every day's kind of been project day. So I've kind of been taking a break, at least until our last unfortunate incident. And so anyways, after we get back in, we're gonna start kind of probably doing regular. We're thinking doing Friday as our regular videos, and then I have like a bunch of projects I need to knock out, small ones, but people tend to seem to enjoy the project videos, which is cool. I like doing them. So yeah, I'm gonna do another project video today, show you kind of what we're dealing with the weather. It actually looks nice out-ish, but freaking camera doesn't really capture it, but seas are choppy as heck out there. So yeah, we're just kind of having a chill day. Can't really do much anyways. We're just getting everything figured out, get haul out, where we're staying, all that stuff figured out. So I think we're pretty ready as we're ever going to be. But yeah, so today I'm just going to show you do this. So what I'm going to be working on is, we cleaned our tanks out on this one. We cut an access, cleaned the tanks last summer, and since then I redid all the soft lines, and then added a carbon filter. We have a big carbon filter on the water system because tank water always just weirds me out, and so we've been running it through. We like sterilized when we did it. We're running it through, but we haven't been drinking off of it. And again, I just don't trust tank water. I really don't. But we buy drinking water in jugs, and it's just expensive. Getting rid of the jugs sucks, and so we really don't want to do that like as long term. But I don't like drinking. So we've been using it, but only when we boil stuff like cook and all this stuff. So anyway, so what I did is I ended up buying a separate little faucet filtration setup that you would add at a house. That's got little filter cartridges, so it'll be triple filter by the time it gets to us. So that I feel confident enough doing that. So I'll show you what I got with that today, and it should be a quick little install. All right, so I'll show you what I got here. Just the UnderSink filtration setup. 2 cartridges are interchangeable. We bought an extra set of cartridges too, just to have them on board, and then it's got its own faucet. And I don't think I even videotaped this, but when we bought the boat, it had one of those little freaking tiny boat faucets here. And then it had a secondary that wasn't hooked up, so I'm going to use that hole. But I ended up adding this house faucet to it, so it's freaking pull down, really nice. Enjoy that. But I'll show you in here. Pop these doors off. Kind of man under here, so bear with me. Okay, so this boat has had a bunch of soft lines from the tank, and then it does have some old school copper lines, not many of them, but just a short run. And so what I did is this isn't for all boats, but this boat specifically just had copper lines into I think they went all the way up to the friggin' sink. I honestly can't remember because it was a while ago. But I just basically sweat some threaded fittings on it and then added a traditional faucets like in a house, because I was putting a house faucet on it. So this will make it an easier, and so that's kind of a step off. I'm just showing that only because if like you're following this like verbatim for your own boat, it's like it may be a little different. Marine faucets are slightly different generally on older boats. I can't speak on new ones. So I'll show you what I got. So like I said, I put the house valves in. I just sweat a fitting on, just went to the local hardware store, super easy, put a fitting, sweat it on, and then that puts a normal faucet fitting, and then I ordered a house UnderSink system, so then it'll just basically interrupts. They put it in between, right on the other side of that valve. They tee into it, and so that's where the water comes, and you can do it before or after the valve. I recommend doing it after, so you can shut your water supply off. That was another thing I forgot to mention with this, is before, the sink didn't have a shut-off supply. So when we bought the boat, even though it was surveyed, when we turned the pressure pump on, it started spewing all over the place because the sink leaked. Say that 10 times fast. And apparently the surveyor doesn't turn sinks on. So whatever, that's a whole nother story on its own. But anyway, so that sprawled changing the sink, which I wanted valves to shut it off. So by doing this, do it after the valve so you can turn it off still, as my recommendation. All right, so to get a little more specific, so this little T here has a push compression fitting. As I've said before, these are not my favorite, but whatever, moving on. So you got threads, female threads, male threads. So what you're gonna then essentially do is just unscrew the braided on a traditional, set this guy in, then thread it back on here, and now you have your T off. So we'll run it off our cold side. If you want to filter off your hot side, that's weird. But, and then you've got color-coded. Enjoy that always. Basically, it will just be going from here. Let's see. Here to the, oh, there it is, sorry. Goes from the T to the filters to the faucet. And then it can be this little snazzy thing, which is kind of cool, so I'm sure the kids will break it off. What? You can break everything. So yeah, they'll have this, and this will be direct drinking water. And that way we've got, I don't know, like I said, tank water freaks me out, so this makes me really happy. I'm not gonna break it off, I'm just being funny. Apparently we're being sensitive today. Yeah, you. I think that's all. Alright, we got it. And then, but come on, no, sit down, I don't want you to do that. Alright, and so basically we have a cartridge mount. Screws to the walls, nice and easy. And then some twist on cartridges. This is a GE brand. I'm not necessarily recommending this. Never used it. Pretty straightforward. I think it was like $100. So this is kind of applicable to any UnderSink filtration system. But I mean, as long as you basically get one, it'll work just fine. And then I'm gonna put it in point of use. I always believe in anything that's gonna need to be repaired, put it in a spot you can repair it. Especially something like this cartridge is gonna be like a readily repaired. It's like servicing your engine or something. So I recommend finding a good spot. That you can twist lock and do this without burying it super far back. But again, I always just have those little quips, like as far as experience goes. So anywho, so yeah, come on, man. So it's got nice little fittings here. So yeah, not exactly a huge undertaking, big project video for this one, but I think it's, I mean, if someone has it, I mean, if there's a lot of boats have seen saltwater faucets or have like pump faucets, so to avoid, you know, using the pressure pump. But this is a good little setup if that I haven't seen on my personal experience, haven't, but I think it'd be a great little setup for anyone like us who doesn't trust our tank water. So which we should, it's all clean, but it's just like the way I am. So yeah, this would be good for we can drink right out of the tanks, and it'll be triple filter at that point. So I think we're safe after triple filter. All right, so these are nice little twist on disposable cartridges. And I'm just gonna basically write the dates on here. Anything I do with a disposable filter, engine, water, anything with a disposable filter of any kind, or something that I do regularly, I will Sharpie the date on. Try to be good about logs, but life happens, and so just a twist lock there. It's nice. So double cartridge. Here's more of those push lock fittings, in and out. I'm gonna hook these up first to this because once I bury it in there, it will be harder to get in. Looks like white matters. Blue goes faucet, yellow here. Yes, I do read instructions actually, believe it or not. So I already forgot. Now, blue goes there, blue out, yellow in. So I put 2 screws up there, it's basically marked. 2 screws up there, pretty straightforward. And then this guy goes, it's basically got holes with little slide downs in them, but I'll go back and tighten them because I hate when they're just slid on, they just bounce around. All right, set the camera down. So make sure you leave enough room so you can pop this off. You know, you wouldn't want to mount it. If you don't check first, you're going to mount it where you don't have enough room for the filter. So, one, just like that. I kind of set it up pretty tight because it kind of sits real weird. There we go. So they lock in pretty good. So that's step 1. All right, so we have is faucet. Section goes the counter. And these, oh man, these are gonna be a pain, if you're gonna tell. All right, so this is a pretty good size faucet, bigger than the other one, so I was hoping it would fit. But yeah, so I got to get these guys up in there and that, so that should be the real test. So time to go in the belly of the beast. Oh, I hate crawling up stuff like this. All right, so that was horrible. Don't mind all the dirty dishes. I don't know how people keep their sinks clean. This thing's always full, so no comments about that. All right, so here we go. We got this. It actually matched pretty good. We were like looking at a couple different of these. I was looking at a couple different of these little faucets, and this one actually matches pretty good. So that worked out awesome. So, and then yeah, we just fold it away when we're not using it. So that'll be cool. And it's a pretty big faucet. I didn't expect it to be so big, but it'll be easy to fill for the kids and stuff. So that's cool. So, anyways, so now we're back to this. So I'm trying to use my phone light. If you're wondering why I'm having such a freaking issue, a lot of my LED lights freak out the GoPro. If anyone knows how to fix that, comment. He's a far better mechanic than I am filmer. So these are what I mentioned earlier. These are little water valves. So the nice thing is I can just turn that off. Should be this tight. There we go. There we go. Check that O-ring while it's out. Okay, so this is the T. Oh, this guy goes on here. Of course. It's gonna completely be pointed the wrong way. That's a bummer. There we go. Okay, well, I didn't want it pointed that way, but that's just how it goes. With plastic, you can't over tighten it. So, and this guy goes right in here. You get extra bonus points if you turn it on and it doesn't leak the first time. There we go. Kind of twist it up here. Let's do something like this. this guy. Rose. Go behind here. And unfortunately, where the inlet outlet was, didn't line up real good with how I wanted it. Would have worked much better if this was the inlet, so I could have jumped over, but vice versa. But anywho, whatever. That's life. So get these guys here. So I got a bunch of P-clips I'm gonna go in here. That's kind of why I waited on cleaning up all this stuff, is because I wanted to P-clip it all in. So that will be the next finish of this project. It's a little crazy looking now. Anyway, so that goes up there. And then, oh crap, I forgot a step. So I'm not gonna be able to see this last step because I'm gonna bury it up in the abyss. But now I just basically got to thread this guy on the bottom of the faucet, and then it's another push compression fitting. So I'm gonna do that first, and then we should be able to fire it up. And that's it. So got it tightened up. God, I hate getting under the sink. It's horrible under here, but they're little matching faucets. So let's turn this sucker on and see if we got any leaks. So here going through, it's a good sign. Oh, and I left that on. So that's off. Okay. Could have me full. Alright. So that looks good. Obviously check all your fittings. So far we look good. Make sure the old fittings aren't leaking. Pressure pump do its thing. Wow, that's a kick. Big ass air bubble. Pressure tank pumping all the way up, then opening it. That's a pretty good flow for going through 2 filters. I'll fill a cup. Alright. So I think all the air is out of that. And I don't see it leaking. So bonus points for me. So that'll work. I think I probably gonna bleed this thing too now.
Don't wanna sleep in, cause I got something to prove.